Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is here, and box office analysts are suggesting that the monkeys have broken loose. That finally we're getting a big win for the month of May in a year that desperately needs anything to lift theater owners out of the red. But is it true, or are the theaters continuing to be dead? Today, folks, we'll show you what's really going on and what the analysts probably should be saying. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. As always, a pleasure to have you here with us. Happy Sunday out there. Hope you're having a great, wonderful Mother's Day. And if you are not a mother, and if you have a mother in your life, reach out to her today and let her know just how much she means to you. Even if there is stress and strife, you can still do a very nice thing. All right, folks, today we're starting off with Deadline. As we do, click the like button and let's get into this. It's out of Anthony D'Alessandro. And it says, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes still reigning with $52 to $55 million opening Saturday box office update. I'm here to tell you that the way that the press is spinning this is not the way that I'm going to spin it. And that's because I'm not going to spin. We're going to show you the receipts, and you're going to find out if this movie is successful or not. It's a little trickier than you might imagine. It says, for those hooked on a theory last weekend that star power no longer works in opening films, their concerns are further underscored this weekend as a bunch of no-name apes are driving 20th Century Studios, Disney's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, to what might be the biggest box office opening this May of $52 to $55 million. Well, it's easy to be that when there's almost nothing else opening in May. That's the joy of having almost no competition whatsoever. This is all fueled by premium format screens and IMAX screens, which are delivering 44% of the weekend's till 44% of the overall revenues. Screen Engine ComScore post-track exits showed that 43% of the moviegoers bought tickets because they love the franchise. We'll see if a Cannes premiere this week can lift Furiosa past its current $40 to $50 million projection, which, by the way, the fact that they want it to be lifted above the $40 to $50 million projection, that's where Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is. It's where it was. And so they don't like that. They want it to be higher. And yet they want to spin this in the first paragraph, at least Anthony D'Alessandro does, so that you believe that this is a conquering sort of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. But is that true? Well, let's continue by going to Deadline, finding out what they have to say about the international portion of this. Nancy Tartaglione, she is the one who covers the international portion for Deadline. And Nancy does a very good job. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes evolving towards $125 million global debut and the international box office combined. It says 20th Century Studios, Disney's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is beating its chest towards a $125 million global bow this weekend. At the international box office, we understand the Westball directed installment is at around $31 million through Friday. As Anthony D'Alessandro has reported, domestic is looking at 52 to 55, and we just covered Anthony, so that's good. Here's where they go into some interesting territory. Overseas, we're seeing $70 million with some potential upside. Hindrance here is China. Even though Apes will come in at number one for the frame there, it's a soft market coming off a big holiday weekend last session. This one includes a Saturday workday. The Maoyan and TPP scores, maybe is that Park Place? We'll go with it, are good, but the Dubon critical score is not so hot at 6.7, which is the lowest of the recent series. Estimates for the no longer reliable markets start at $11 million. Now, China, of course, sends back a terribly, awfully small portion of their total revenues back to the American studios because, well, American studios, one, can't be the majority owner of the movie, so they have to partner with somebody. Two, the taxes are insane. And three, they penalize companies that are from outside of China. So the fact that they're not getting much out of China doesn't worry me so much. I'm going to get now to what worries me about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Let's talk about it. This is why, folks, the way the media is going to spin this, that it's the biggest box office in the month of May. Be wary of that and know that it may be coming from a position of trying to defend and deflect for Disney and the broader box office. Variety, this is Jordan Moreau and Michaela Z. Box office, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes climbs to $22 million opening day. Here's what it says. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes isn't monkeying around. The latest Apes entry from 20th Century Studios earned $22 million from 4,075 theaters on its opening day. The series' second movie, 2014, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, holds the opening weekend record with 72 million, followed by War of the Planet of the Apes with its 56.2 million, and then Rise of the Planet of the Apes with 54.8. Now, here's why concern should be had, folks. What's the trajectory for this movie? What are they calling it? 52, and this one's giving it to 56, but deadline I think was 52 to 55. 52 to $55 million opening for this weekend is what is expected after everything's tallied. We'll get the final numbers probably Tuesday. And we know, and we've reported on this channel so many times for you about the inflation of movie ticket prices. We know that it's outstripped even historical movie ticket prices. And yet, when we look at the most recent Planet of the Apes movies, what do we see? A $72 million opening, a $56 million opening, a $55 million opening, rounding up to 0.8. And what does that mean? It means that even with the inflation of ticket prices in the last 10 years, that this weekend's Planet of the Apes, even despite no competition whatsoever, and these other films didn't have that. They came out in normal markets, not after strikes, with normal competition. Even with all of those factors, this could be the lowest Planet of the Apes in the last 20 years. That's a real problem. Let's take a look at why now. This also had a variety. This is by Rebecca Rubin. Keen of the Planet of the Apes aims for $50 million plus opening weekend. And what we need is this paragraph right here. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes cost a hefty $160 million to produce, but looks to be well positioned in its theatrical run as long as the film can ape the ticket sales of its predecessors. Rise of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes generated $481 million and $490 million respectively, while Dawn of the Planet of the Apes towers as the biggest earner of the series with $710 million. Now, here's why Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes could be a flop, and probably will be a flop. Here's why. At a $160 million budget, folks, let's just run the math here. Let's say that they needed $80 million in marketing spend, because that's not included in this. We're at 240. And we know that, but based on 240 and with a low China percentage involved in this, they need to get back about 50%. And so what they need to do then is, if it is at 240, they basically need to come in at $480 million to break even. But they are under, take a look at, again, remember folks, they are under Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and they are under War of the Planet of the Apes, which came at 480 and 490. That's the numbers they need. Those are the numbers they need to break even. But they're under that projection right now, if only barely. But there is a bigger problem. And that bigger problem is that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes currently has a terrible, terrible comm score at just a B ranking. And that means that, that means that Planet of the Apes is unlikely to get the 3X that I was hoping for, that I think would have gotten it to break even status. It's probably not going to do 3 times what its opening is. It could. And the reason it could is because there's no competition. Open runway. The summer is empty. Take a look at this out of the numbers. This is what we're looking at right now. 2017, War of the Planet of the Apes, $489 million is what it made total. That's 2017. We're going in chronological order here. 2014, we had Dawn of the Planet of the Apes at 710. This was a franchise tremendously on the rise. 2011 was Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It made 470, right? So 710 was the top end. And if Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, using the inflated ticket prices, could have gotten back into that 700 range, we'd be talking about a major success. Unfortunately, my thought right now is that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is likely headed for something like 450. And if it's headed for something like 450, then this is not going to be a success. It's not going to be a success because, again, when the movie theaters take their cut and taxes take their cut, the company gets half back, and Disney needs double. They need double what they put into this. And it looks like, to me, what they put into this is about $240 million. You double that, you know what they need for break even. It's that simple when China is not involved. Folks, that is why perhaps the analysts are out there spinning this a wee bit, because yet again, it could be that Disney is looking at a situation where a franchise is failing, not generating the kind of support that supports the big budgets that they have. We'll see if they can break free at any point. It is a perhaps empty headline to declare that Rise of the Kingdom of the Apes, or whatever we're calling this latest planet, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, that it's the biggest box office this May because it's just about the only box office draw this May, as has been the case in several months this year where only one movie has reigned supreme because only one movie has been of blockbuster caliber. And that, folks, is the video for today. Boy, I wish I could be more positive. I hoped, this would have been wonderful if the movie had been really, really, really good. The review scores are not great. And the tracking for folks when they leave the theater is not great. That B score is really going to hurt this film. B is very low in that particular ranking. So that really stinks. I wanted a victory here. It would have been nice. There is some credibility to this idea that you could make a movie with no stars, and maybe that's not a bad thing. And so this would have been a great example. Not sure we're getting that example this time. It's a real bummer because theater owners need the win. Put aside for a moment what's happening with Disney. Theater owners need the win, and we're rooting for them because they might be uprooted right out of your town if they don't get a show that they can put in their theaters that draws in an audience. So I feel nothing more than macabre about this. I feel terrible for the theater owners. They're going to be popping popcorns and passing tickets and all of that. It's just not happening. I feel terrible for the movie industry. It's a real shame. But folks, it's not a shame to cover it accurately, and that's what we're here to do. That's how we keep you ahead of the culture curve. As always, if you enjoy this kind of content, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Don't forget, folks, we have Dean Cain, Superman, is coming on the Pro Show live this Tuesday at noon Eastern, and we're going to be talking about all things entertainment in ways you have probably never heard Dean Cain talk about, these sorts of issues. Get ready. It's going to be an amazing show. Can't wait to bring it to you. We're also doing a debate. We have agreed to the terms. We just have to figure out when it's coming out. Echo Base Network says that X-Men 97 is not a flop. That is fantastic. And I am here to counter that and say that I'm sorry, but I'm afraid the ratings don't support it. So we'll find out who is right and who is wrong. Debate coming with Echo Base Network, all their crew versus little old Pro. Who will win? Who will be thrown asunder? We'll find out soon. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun. And happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Clickbait, fraud, drama queen. Ugh, I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh my.
Wow.